Hello, this is Kinninigan. Someone had asked me to upload lectures about the Mandela effect after I uploaded that video about the Titanic and the Mandela effect. The newspaper article I had found, this is the Titanic never sank. It was safely towed back to dock. All the survivors were saved. Nobody died. Yes, that video is on my channel. And then this kind of other crazy theory I'm kind of working on here. I'll give you the gist of it. But please, if you could support the channel, I do not run ads on my videos. I'm not doing too good financially. I always need like cigarettes. Because what I am about to tell you, and if I am correct, could get me into a lot of trouble. Because it's called being quote unquote over the target. And what that is really what is, if we're right, correct. All right. There was one more video I had made about the Mandela effect. It was a live stream, which I do have on my Odyssey channel backed up. I didn't want to re-upload it because sometimes I say things on those live streams that could pertain to things currently politically, and I've got to go through them before I re-upload them to make sure there's nothing I said on there that could get me in trouble. I know that these videos are fine. These were the Mandela effect videos that I did, Wolf and the Lamb. And that was when I went into detail about the CIA and the CERN and CERN's possible connection to the Mandela effect. And actually, the physics idea that I learned from somebody else who taught it to me, which is quantum entanglement, which is the actual basis of what causes the Mandela effect. But what I want to talk about is something more sinister. I would just like to redo a live stream on the Mandela effect. That would be a good idea. But so what I'm going to go over here is something, if I'm correct about this, could be a lot more sinister in what they might be planning for their technocracy in the quote unquote new world order, and what the Illuminati wishes they can achieve. Because we know, let's be honest, every new invention or technology that's created is used as a weapon against us. That's how pathetic we kind of are as a civilization. Everything is weaponized, nuclear energy, utilities in the form of bills. Now they're using social media and propaganda as a major weapon in the past few years. Those are subjects we can't talk about. So what are they doing really at CERN? And if CERN is the cause of the Mandela effect through the idea of quantum entanglement, particles that affect each other through space and time, going all the way back to the beginning of the Big Bang Theory. I don't know if I might talk about that in one of those videos I re-uploaded, the quantum entanglement theory. But we know the Mandela effect is real, and more of them are happening all the time. And there's another phenomenon that's very real that's been happening. It's been happening in video games, movies, and it's tied in a lot with the subject I can't go into great detail about, and that is because that is diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, and the idea of quote unquote retconning history. One of these just happened. Henry Cavill was going to make a TV show for Amazon, Warhammer, the role-playing game War. And what had happened is Amazon picked up. They bought the rights to it. They made Henry Cavill the executive producer. He actually plays the game. He paints miniatures for the tabletop game and all that. It's a very masculine, dark game, and Games Workshop, who owns the IP for Warhammer and makes the miniatures, retconned their own history to have females included in their. They wanted to make it the Space Marines, and now it's the Space like Custodians. But the point being is they retconned history to adapt to this idea that they always had women in this Warhammer universe, because when Amazon made the TV show, they wanted strong, independent women in it, just like what they did with The Witcher and the Rings of Power. They keep trying to retcon history and IPs that they take over and say, oh no, it was. And the fans got pissed that there was backlash against the Warhammer and Games Workshop. And Henry Cavill walked away from the project for Amazon. So there is not going to be a Warhammer TV show now on Amazon, and Henry Cavill is not producing it because he was pissed at what they did. They also retconned history recently for Ubisoft game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, trying to say that there was a black samurai in history. They did it at the Wikipedia right online. If you go to the Wikipedia about reptilians, you cannot make edits to it because it's run by the CIA. Same people running CERN. This all ties in together. It's not a coincidence. Yeah, the same people trying to always retcon history right now at Wikipedia and online sources. Well, what if they could have that ability to actually do that in real life? And that's what the Mandela effect has been. Experiments at changing things in history. And the side effect has been these mistakes. The Bernstein Bears being the Bernstein Bears now. You get the idea, all the other Mandela effects. And it's quite possibly. I had this article pulled up here. Here's a really good example. What happens when AI generates fake historical photos? Well, let's take it a step further. What happens when CERN and our Illuminati reptilian handlers can actually retcon history in real time? Anytime they want. Now, there is something called cause and effect in the universe. It would be devastating. They shouldn't do it. They don't think ahead, though. The butterfly effect comes to mind also. Um, but this is what I think. It seems like the Mandela effect is some maybe side effect from trying to see if they could possibly do it. And that's kind of a theory that I'm working on now. And if I'm correct and over the target, yeah. So, oh, there was an AI that was launched recently, but it was programmed that way. It's not really an artificial intelligence if it's programmed to be biased. So all these AIs that are out there, artificial intelligences, even the one at X now, what is that, Grok or so? I don't know. I didn't try out Elon's AI yet. Yeah, Chat GTP and Google. I think it was Google that launched the AI, and it made every historical figure in history black, and they said it was a glitch. It was a mistake. They made Nazis black. Um, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, every historical figure. Amazon did that recently with the Cleopatra documentary, when Cleopatra is actually Greek. Yes, that's what I think might be going on with CERN, and what the Mandela effect is a side effect of. Maybe they are trying to do some experiments on the quantum physics level to see if they can actually retcon real history and real historical events. They've been experimenting with this type of shit for a long time. I'm going to make a video in the future about the Philadelphia experiment also, when supposedly we made a naval ship and a bunch of sailors go into a parallel dimension and come back real quickly. And there's another experiment that was done by the Nazis called the Nazi Bell experiment, where supposedly the Nazi Bell crashed in Pennsylvania. I believe it was Kecksburg, I believe, Pennsylvania. Years later, people thought it was a UFO crash, but it wound up theoretically being the bell, and that was with spinning liquid mercury. I talk about liquid mercury in my How Reptilians Shapeshift theory on purple mercury and blood. So there seems to be some truth with spinning liquid mercury and parallel dimensions opening up portals. So that's kind of the introduction to this theory I'm working on here about what CERN could possibly be doing and how it's tied to the Mandela effect. And if I'm correct, this is downright frightening. I don't trust these people at CERN. We know they weaponize everything against us because they're psychopaths, way beyond psychopath. Anyway, if you could support the channel, all the links are in the description. I have Cash App, Vemno, PayPal, Stripe, Buy Me a Coffee. You can sign up to Patreon and locals also. Any questions or comments, leave them below. God bless and take care.